Hey everyone, welcome back to the shed. I hope you are all doing fantastic. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Anycubic Kobra Go, and make sure you stay tuned until the end. We have a really special announcement for you here on the Maker Shed channel. Unlike a lot of the printers that we're seeing today, the Kobra Go does require a fair bit more assembly. Now, if we are comparing something like a Voron 2.4 versus a Bamboo Lab P1P or X1 Carbon, for example, I would probably put the Kobra Go right in the middle. Most of the machine is actually assembled. You do have to put together essentially the X and Z axes, install the spool holder and the screen. But that does lend to this being a more budget-friendly printer. So we're actually going to take a look at the unboxing and some of the assembly process on the Kobra Go. I'm really excited to get into this box. We picked up an Anycubic Kobra Go from Micro Center. As of the filming of this video, they're on sale for $129, which on paper, from the specs I've seen for this machine, seems like it's going to be an absolutely amazing deal. So let's dive in and get it all set up. Now, most of these Ender 3 type machines are all going to unbox and set up very similar to one another. So for very specific reasons, I wanted to make sure that the box stayed in good shape. What you're going to get when you get inside the box is going to be what looks to be a pretty nice instruction manual, a small sample amount of filament, and some assembly screws, a little QC placard, and a whole lot of foam. Now, unlike what we're going to see from machines like the Ender 3 S1 or the Anycubic M5, this machine does require quite a bit more assembly. So we're going to go ahead and go through that, get her all put together, and get our first print rolling. The Kobra Go doesn't take a lot of assembly, and you don't have to be a super mechanically inclined person to put it together. I've put quite a few printers together from all sorts of different kits and things. I don't think it was that difficult. The overall amount of build time for me was probably right around 40 minutes, having put together a handful of Ender 3s and similar style printers in the past. Now, I got ahead of myself a few times because I thought that I knew exactly what I needed to do next. That wasn't exactly the case, so make sure you're following along with the instructions. And the folks at Anycubic did do a really cool thing, and on the SD card that's included with the printer, they actually have some instructions on assembly. All in all, I found the build to be pretty fun, and when you're looking at a budget-focused printer, having to do some work to put it together, that's where the companies are going to save some of their money. So take your time, enjoy the build, do your best not to get frustrated. I promise, once you have it together, it is going to be worth it. It's very rewarding to go from a box of parts to a fully assembled printer when you have to do a fair amount of the assembly. I'm a really big fan of anybody who gets into 3D printing as a hobby, putting together a more kit style printer like the Kobra Go at least once, because that gives you a really good inclination of how the machine works overall. Now I realize the assembly and some of the troubleshooting steps aren't necessarily for everybody, but if you really want to dive in and get into 3D printing, putting something like this machine together does a really good job of kind of helping you understand what the different parts are and how they all work together. In terms of the build quality and style of the Kobra Go, I'm pretty impressed. Now, this is a budget-oriented machine. When I purchased this machine, it was actually on sale for $129 at Micro Center, and I'm kind of seeing it floating around for around $149. I'll make sure to include some links in the description below. Now, where this does kind of compare, there were a lot of cost-saving measures that went into this machine. So instead of a cutting-edge, super bright, responsive touchscreen, we do have this adorable little encoder wheel screen, something like we would have seen on an older style machine. What's really cool though is it does have some color to it, and for the most part I actually prefer these style of screens to the touch screens. They just seem to work better overall. That's just my take. One bummer going from having the original Viper printer is this machine does have an older style extruder. It's not a dual drive extruder. It's something more like you would see on an Ender 3. Again, budget friendly printer. I think something really neat that they did was they made sure to include X and Y axis belt tensioners, so you can actually just tweak these in without requiring any tools. And to kind of match it with the injection molded plastic theme, the top of the Z gantry is actually injection molded plastic, and it has heat set inserts, so that way the spool holder actually screws directly in. Gives you a really nice clean appearance and just kind of adds some personality and character to the machine. You do get a 0.4 millimeter nozzle standard installed on the machine. There is a spare in the box. And in terms of build volume, it's not the biggest, but it's not super tiny either. You're going to get 220 on X and Y and 250 on Z. So you'll be able to print some pretty good size things. You won't be printing full-size helmets in one go, but based off of what most people print on a day-to-day basis, you should be able to print just about anything that you want without having to cut it up into little pieces. My initial impression after the unboxing and assembly of the Kobra Go is if you can pick this thing up for $129, it might be worth it. You get a decent sized build volume, a really nicely designed machine with some creature comforts. You get automatic bed leveling, you get a flexible magnetic build plate, a nice top mounted spool holder, and the machine is dead quiet when it's running. I mean, all you can hear is fan noise. The machine is on right now, and I actually had to turn the Anchor Make M5 off when we started filming because it was so loud I couldn't hear myself think. Part of the setup and unboxing, we actually went ahead and did a test print. What we chose to do was actually a 20 by 20 by 20 millimeter cube. The reason that I like to do these cubes on new machines is you get a sense of the dimensional accuracy of the machine. I measured all the axes and we're within 0.2 of a millimeter all the way around, which I was pretty happy with for doing absolutely zero tuning and running stock profiles. I'm going to play around with some settings and do some more in-depth checking for tolerances and making sure that moving parts move if we do print and place models. And another reason is they don't take up a lot of filament. When I run these initially, I do them with 0 top layers and 0 infill. So you can print a cube like this to get a rough estimate of what your printer's capable of in about 15 or so minutes. How exactly did we end up with this machine in the shed? Well, on Wednesday this past week, we actually took a trip down to Micro Center and I was doing some browsing around. I needed to pick up a spool of ASA and I wanted to play around with the Creality Sonic pad and put Clipper on my Ender 3S1. While I was there, I actually saw the Kobra Go in person for the first time, and for $130, we couldn't pass up the opportunity to play with it. As awesome as it's been to talk about the Kobra Go, I have some really fun announcements that I think that you guys are really going to enjoy. We are going to start doing some regular giveaways here on the channel. First off, every 250 subscribers from now until the foreseeable future, we are going to give away a spool of Polymaker filament. Now, to enter into that drawing, you do need to be subscribed to the channel and comment on videos. Basically, we are going to pick a subscriber that has commented on a random video. So we're going to go random video, random comment, you win a spool of Polymaker. Unfortunately, at this time, that giveaway is only open to people in the United States because we are paying for the filament and the shipping to get it to you. Hopefully in the future, as the channel continues to grow, we'll be in a position where we can start doing some international giveaways, and we will absolutely make sure to update you on that process. But make sure you're commenting, sharing, and getting more eyes on these videos, because every 250 subscribers, we're going to give away a spool of filament completely free of charge to you as long as you live in the United States. I am super stoked about that. I love Polymaker filament, and I'm really excited to share some of that love with you guys. For the really cool news, the really, really big thing in this video, one of you lucky subscribers is going to win this Kobra Go. The real reason we bought this machine is so we could give it away. When the channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we are going to pick one comment from this video to win this Kobra Go. To enter, all you have to do is leave us a comment letting us know what you're going to make with this 3D printer. Is it going to be your first printer? What do you want to make with it? Do you have a bunch? I want to know. Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you want to win this printer, it's really easy. All you have to do is be subscribed, live in the continental United States, and leave a comment on this video. When the channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a comment at random from the video you're watching right now and give one of you lucky viewers this really cool machine. Thanks for hanging out and checking out the Kobra Go in the Maker Shed. Make sure you are commenting, subscribing, and sharing the heck out of this video. The sooner we hit our goals, the sooner we get to start giving you free stuff. 3D printers and filament, and there will be more to come.